Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It's Friday morning, it's going to be another hot one. It's going to be hot ones until Monday. It's currently 8:30 and it's 21 degrees, feels hotter. Just before I start this video, just let me say, for those of you who are following Crime Stories Sunday over on Michelle Walks, I did say there was going to be an episode this week. There isn't, I'm sorry, I lied. I'll do the episode that I plan to do this week. I'll do it next week. Just that all hell's going to break loose in my house in a couple of hours' time. I've got two of my daughter's dogs staying over the weekend because she's going camping, and one of her dogs is too young and one of them is too old. So you'll see the oldie, he's 12, he's called Max. He's a Springer Spaniel. You'll see him tomorrow because I'll bring him out with me. But the little pup is only like 10 weeks old, too young to go on a holiday. He's a little bit of a handful. He's a little bit of a brat, as my daughter says. So, yeah, I'm going to have my hands full. I'm going to be looking after 6 dogs and 2 cats. So, yeah, got my hands full. So I'll do Crime Stories Sunday, episode 20, whatever, next week. Alright, so to today's video. I've been up in the night. It was too hot to sleep. So I was up in the night and some news broke on Tyler Feller's channel that possibly Kiely Rodni had been found. So where'd you jump when there's breaking news? You jump straight over to Twitter. And there was some audio, only like 30 seconds or so, of audio being spread around of a police scanner, and it sounded genuine to me. The police scanner thing sounded genuine. It's a very good fake if somebody's faked it for whatever. This was in Reno, and they were talking about someone driving erratically, and Kylie's name was mentioned, and Placer County was also mentioned in this police scanner. Something about it matches. Placer County sheriffs replied to someone on Twitter saying that, sorry, it wasn't true. So presumably, what I'm guessing is, whatever police officer responded to that scanner information checked it out, and it wasn't Kiely. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm assuming. So Kiely has not been found. Her vehicle has not been found. We're back to square one. So for a few minutes there, I was hopeful that there was going to be a rescue, like in the case of Maddie Thomas, the young girl who went missing in my country, in the UK, a couple of months ago now. She was missing for a little while, and she was found in a house, and 3 guys had kidnapped her. And then, of course, we've got Cleo Smith over in Australia, who was missing for something like 18 days, and she was rescued. You know, you get the times when true crime can be uplifting and you think, thank God, just occasionally someone who's gone missing and you're thinking the worst, they're rescued. I was really hopeful for a few minutes there, but no. That's, it's not the case, sadly. Anyway, what I want to do in this video is look at the inconsistencies in Sammy Smith's story. The story that Sammy's been telling everybody. All the interviews she's done. Things just don't add up. Things just don't make sense. And I think when she was... Tilly, come here. Come on, Tilly.
One eternity later.
Yeah, she's all right. She's just stupid. She's just a clown. Come here. Too hot to be running wild. Just calm it down. So in the interview with All-American Dream Chaser, it looked like Sammy didn't believe her own story. She was picking her words very carefully. And I don't like that. I really don't like it. And I talked about it yesterday. But let's go through exactly what she said.
Sammy Smith was at the party with Kiely and is one of the search coordinators. What time did you last see her?
To the media earlier in the week, she said,
the last time I saw Kiely was around 12:25 in the morning of the party. I was leaving and I gave her a hug, telling her I loved her and goodbye and for her to get home safe or be safe.
She told other media that Kiely rang her at 12:36 a.m. Now that can't be right because the police have said that the last ping they got from Kylie's phone was 12:33 and it's been switched off ever since. Now Sammy could be wrong, 3 minutes wrong there. That's not a big deal. Presumably Sammy can just look at her call log and ascertain that it was 12:33. That's if any of this really happened, because I'm beginning to doubt that it did. In the interview with All American Dream Chaser, she said this.
So then Kiely and I were going around taking shots and just drinking. We were trading drinks with each other. We were sharing drinks with each other. We would go back to her car to get some alcohol sometimes, and then we went to her car to charge her phone, and we were talking about just random stuff, and then it's kind of hard to remember. And so, or no, we were talking about her texting her mom and her charging her phone and stuff, and just about the party in general. And then we had a few other friends in the car, and then we all decided to go back to the party, and we were around in there for a bit. I had asked her for a ride home when we were in the car because my ride was leaving, and I wanted to stay at the party longer. And so then we ended up splitting up in the party because I went to go find another ride when we got back into the party after leaving the car, so that we could sorry, my mind is in a moment.
No, that's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
Around 11:30. We know it was 11:30 because that's when Kiely texted her mother.
Asked her to wake me up when she got home, like she always does, and she said, okay, and thanks, Mama, love you. And that's the last I ever heard from her.
She'd be setting off from the party in about 45 minutes. Well, it was a bit later than that if this text was bang on 11:30, because Kiely was still at the party, allegedly, at 12:36. So there's a few minutes discrepancy, but we can handle that. Kiely stayed like 20 minutes longer than she said. We can handle that, right? Time runs away with you when you're drunk. They went to Kylie's car, so Sammy was there and some other friends. And they were talking about the party generally, talking about texting her mother. So I'm guessing it'll be text your mother so that you can stay longer. Sammy wanted to stay at the party longer, so was she the one encouraging Kiely to stay longer? Don't know. At this point, 11:30, Sammy was going to get a ride home from Kiely. Then she said they went back to the party, and somehow, right, in this 55 minutes, Kiely got so drunk that Sammy had to go and find another ride.
Shani Jones wants to ask you, on your last call, did she let you know who the quote-unquote friend was that was driving her home?
Yeah, so this is a common misconception. She was not being driven home, and she was not driving. So, okay, at the end of the party when I saw her, she was supposed to give me a ride home because I had asked her to give me a ride home because I wanted to stay later. I then realized later in the party that I believe she was drunk, and I knew she was drunk, and so I did not want her to be driving me home because I know about drunk drivers and all that.
But they split up. They'd gone off doing their own thing for a little bit. So what happened to Kiely? Because when she was in the car at 11:30, Sammy didn't seem to think that she was too drunk. So had Kiely, drunk, just a gallon of neat whiskey, or had she taken something that made her appear more drunk than she was? Had somebody slipped something in a drink that made her appear more drunk than she was? These are just questions that are going through my head. But Sammy somehow knew that Kiely was so drunk that she wasn't safe to drive. And then, at the end of the interview with All American Dream Chaser, and I wish he'd asked her more questions. I mean, I know he's not interrogating her. She's just accounting things from her point of view. But there's so many questions that could have been asked at this point. That's filthy. That's gross. This last phone call, allegedly at 12:36, Sammy almost slips and says she was driving.
She called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat, and she was like, "Hey, where are you? Do you still need a ride home?" And I was like, "No, I'm okay. Like, I'm in the car right now. I'm getting driven home now."
I'm in the car right now. I'm getting driven home now.
That's what it sounds like, but I don't know.
I found her as I was leaving the party. I was making sure to find her to tell her that I had another ride home, and that I loved her and I would say bye, and for her to have fun at the party.
Kiely allegedly rang to ask if Sammy still needed a ride home.
And then when I left the party, we were pretty much on 89 with my ride, and she called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat, and she was like, "Hey, where are you? Do you still need a ride home?" And I was like, "No, I'm okay. Like, I'm in the car right now. I'm getting driven home now."
Kiely knew she was leaving at 12:25. So why did Kiely ring her at 12:36 to ask her if she still needed a ride home?
But Kiely did not have a set ride home, and I was under the impression that she would either sleep there or find another ride home. And it was not known that anybody was going to give her a ride home. She was not, when she called me, she was not in a car. I could hear the party and many people talking in the background.
So did someone ambush Kiely as she was leaving? A turned off phone, you can still get a ping from it. A phone in aeroplane mode, you can still get a ping on it. If it's been thrown into water, it'll still ping as long as that water's not too deep. I talked about Prosser Reservoir yesterday, and at its deepest, at one side of it is 75 feet, the deepest, but because there's been so little rain, that reservoir is really low at the moment. So it'll be easier if somehow Kiely's ended up in there. However she might have done that. You know, that the diver's been in there for days. So that's obviously one theory that search and rescue are working from, that she might have somehow got in that lake. But I don't know. It's like someone stamped on her phone, because if the phone's destroyed, then it won't ping. Someone smashes it up, it won't ping. Not difficult to smash up someone's phone. So was it that the point that Kiely was ambushed, had her phone smashed up and was taken? Or is Sammy lying? Are these timings that Sammy is giving us akin to Jodie Sue Brown's The Scream between 4:30 and 4:42? You know, for those of us that's followed the Summer Wells case, we've been given these very specific timings that we've been working from, that many of us, including me until May, believed. I'm not falling for this again. I fell for it with Jodie Sue, you know, the key witness, the neighbour that was there. I'm not falling for it with Sammy. Sammy doesn't seem to know her own story. Now, we could be kind to Sammy here and say, look, she's only 18, she's barely an adult, but she is an adult. So, Sammy, you know, you got questions to answer. There's more and more questions coming up in my mind every day. Make it make sense, Sammy. But if she was drunk, she realised she needed a ride, not from Kiely, because Kiely was too drunk. But what a great friend that you left Kiely there, knowing that she was too drunk to drive. Why didn't you give her a ride home? She could have gone and got a car in the morning. Sammy says she thought Kiely was getting a ride home.
I was under the impression that she would either sleep there or find another ride home. And it was not known that anybody was going to give her a ride home.
Had someone else agreed to give Kiely a ride home?
Shani Jones wants to ask you, on your last call, did she let you know who the quote-unquote friend was that was driving her home?
Yeah, so this is a common misconception. She was not being driven home, and she was not driving. So, okay.
Was Kiely ringing at 12:36 to say she was stuck, she was stranded, she was confused? Maybe she'd been spiked. There's something that Sammy isn't saying. Had there been an argument, and that's why they split up at the party? Sammy and Kiely went their own separate ways, and Sammy did see her before she left, but their parting words weren't "I love you." They were much more negative. At the very best, Sammy could be lying, because there's a simple explanation, and she's telling some porky pies because she feels guilty now, and that's understandable. But did any of this happen? I'd like to see law enforcement confirming these times, because we have got that inconsistency, and we've got these teen meetups that really trouble me.
Talks, and the one that we just had in Tahoe City was by far like the biggest showing of kids that we've had. We probably had somewhere between like 50 and 70 kids show up. And they all, like, everybody helped us. All the information that we got was good, and it helped us move further. Yeah, we've really made progress with the information that we've gotten.
Yeah, so we're planning on having as many of these as it takes to get in contact with anybody who may have been at the party. Whether that means we have to travel to Reno, to Incline, to South Tahoe, wherever we can to talk to kids. We're offering rides now. So for kids who may not be able to get out, we're asking parents to allow their kids to attend these meetings, as it is crucial to this. And we will do anything. We offer food, we offer snacks. Every interviewer is comfortable and a safe person to go to. And we're not trying to get anybody in trouble. We're just trying to get more information.
Now, at the press conference yesterday, which I've recorded, I'll put it out on Michelle Walks. It's like 20 minutes long. I know a lot of people have played it, but I'll put it out there just for sake of completeness. I haven't recorded the other pressers. Maybe I should. But they're not really saying anything new, to be honest, but they did answer quite a few questions yesterday. But in my opinion, the media aren't asking the right questions. These teen-to-teen meetups, are law enforcement aware of them? Is Sammy and her friends, are they wearing a wire? Are they police informants? I don't like it. And I wanna be assured that law enforcement are aware of it. I want them to clarify that Sammy's story checks out, and Sammy isn't a person of interest. She is a witness who, at the time, she said she was there with Kiely. Now, I know law enforcement can't confirm that they spoke at 12:25, but they can confirm that they spoke at 12:36, because Sammy's call log will be right there. The boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, saying that tips can go through him, and the sheriff told him that's nonsense. That did not happen. Why are these kids lying? I don't know how old the boyfriend is, but why are they lying? What's going on? What are they covering up? At best, this was an argument that ended badly. Sammy left her there knowing that she was too intoxicated, thinking she might just stay there. Well, there was no mention of her staying there. You were there when she texted her mother saying she was going home. So it's nonsense, Sammy. You need to sort your story out, girl. If the explanation isn't quite so simple, then Sammy has been controlling the narrative, as a lot of people who are responsible for her crime do. Some people do. They come out early doors, they involve themselves in the investigation to find out what's going on, to find out how much law enforcement knows, to control the narrative to the public. I'm not falling for this. Someone needs to have a word with Sammy. I know she's an adult, but where are her parents? Her parents are aware she's doing all this, so do they agree she's doing all this? They can't stop her. She's an adult, but I don't like it. I really don't like it. I've got a bad feeling about this girl. I might be completely wrong, but I've got a bad feeling. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I've been Michelle. Hope you're well. See you in the next video. Goodbye from Miss Cassie's Vineyard and Miss Tillington. Bye, guys.